Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. We're going to do our daily technical analysis update today. We're going to work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities and ETFs that I follow. And if you guys need any help with anything, check out finding-value.com if you'd like to join our community. Let's dive in and see what the markets have today. So DXY continuing to be resilient. Look at that thing go up today. My Lord, 0.62% for the DXY. Yields still ripping higher. The trend is still intact. So even though we had a reversal candlestick yesterday on the short term, that's what this is here. We turned over. Today, ripping higher again. So reverse that momentum, and we are ripping to the upside for the dollar. We also have strong 2-year yields up over 1%. So again, we had a reversal candlestick yesterday. We're up today. We'll see where we're going to go. Longer term, big picture view momentum is higher. In the short term yesterday, it was lower, but we really bounced today. There's your momentum lost. There is your downtrend line that's broke, or uptrend line that's broken. And we are still heading on higher. Now, is this going to reverse? Are yields going to fall at some point? At this point, we can't really say that. They are still moving strong. TNX, it's up a little bit today, up 0.88. We had a strong selling pressure yesterday. This is what ignited gold and silver, was that yield coming off that top. I don't see any clear patterns yet. You can maybe say that this is the Batman pattern. Hey, Batman, what's going on? Is that the topping pattern? Tough to say. We got to see some more selling pressure over the next few weeks for that to occur. And TYX was also up today, 0.4%, but momentum is definitely to the downside still. So we can easily see yields drop if that momentum is still intact. TYX TNX ratio still inverting. Gold doesn't necessarily like that. So higher yields, higher dollar, higher, more inverted yield curve. All things that gold does not like. So what we want to see is we want to see gold be resilient. We want it to be buoyant. We want it to stay where it's at and hold its ground. Bond prices up a little, or down a little bit, 0.68 today. But again, the momentum is up in this one in the short term. So momentum-wise, on the very short term, yields are still coming down on the long end. Bonds moving higher on the long end. The short end of the curve, it's still flipping back and forth. So we'll see over the next few weeks what direction yields want to choose and get a little bit, hopefully, a clearer picture of what's going on there. Gold did very well today. It is holding its ground. It's above support. It was slightly higher in the face of increasing yields, a inverting yield curve, and increasing dollar. So gold is actually behaving exceptionally well in the face of that market conditions. So if I see any weakness in yields, this thing I think is ready to go. Silver doing the same thing. We had massive buying pressure throughout here. We've got a little bloody nose today. It's a profit-taking day. What this looks like is you get a large up move like this, and then usually you get kind of a flag pattern. That is what I call the bloody nose. It's a flag pattern. So that still looks good to continue higher if the buyers want to push it. Platinum also heading up. It's looking good. Everything's holding together. Let's hope the momentum can continue. XAU to gold ratio, we are getting a little bit more selling pressure in the gold and silver mining companies today. That's generally what happens on a down day, or I should say up yields, up dollar day. So a little bit lower on that. It still looks fine, still above support on the ratio. Big picture view, we have not broken the trend line for happiness yet. We got to break above that for things to get moving. And the market conditions that allow that to occur are the inverted yield curve uninverting, yields coming back, going down, people going into bonds, fear coming up, and that's generally the market conditions that gold likes to fly in. CRB index still heading up a little bit today, still holding on. Looks good. It looks like this could be a flag pattern where we do break and make one last lower move. That is a possibility. Don't be afraid if that were to occur. We would still be above the breakout of the larger pattern here. So even if this were to come back to here, that is a retest. That would be a buying opportunity. It would not be something to worry about, in my opinion. CRB to S&P 500 still rocketing higher. This looks good and is primed for a move to the upside where commodities outperform the S&P 500. So everything looks fantastic from this ratio there. Looks really good. GDX, again, just that little bloody nose, kind of a sideways down day today. Same with GDXJ, the little bloody nose, and SILJ all doing the same thing. One can also look at just one of those. They could say, look at GDX, and you could probably guess what the other two are doing based off of just looking at that one sector or group of companies. Crude oil, flat today. So we're flat on crude oil. Is it going to bottom here? Are we going to have further downside? On the short term, I don't try to play that. It very well could go down further, maybe even to like the 70-something range, mid-70s, 74-ish range or whatever. And what I'm looking at is you could say this is kind of a little head and shoulders top. You basically do this and then you throw it down here and you get $73, $74. I'm just kind of eyeballing it as we go. That is possible. Overall, though, crude oil looks absolutely fantastic. It's been moving higher. We've got a little bit of a pullback here, and I view it as a buying opportunity to do a little bit of sprinkling. A little bit of sprinkling. Got to sprinkle that lawn, sprinkle that portfolio with some of these high cash flow companies, and we're still running deficits. We're eating through inventories. The setup is there. Nat gas up a little bit today, getting a little bit of support right where we're at. You can draw a trend line through here, this general area there. We've got good support right through there. So we'll see if that support holds. If I were to guess, it's probably going to sit here for a little while and go sideways through the fall. XOP, me coming back a little bit today, down 0.65%. Oil not really helping it too much. We are at this resistance, which is the neckline of the inverted head and shoulders, and we just haven't broken out yet. I would be looking for potential companies that you like, be watching them, and looking for strength, and buying into that strength is what I would do. OIH selling off a little bit. We're back to that support level. Everything still looks good. Everything is controlled here. Notice that we don't have any, oh crap, we just fell, big candlesticks that are just blowing us to the downside. Everything is controlled here. We've got nice, good bullish piercing, bullish piercing, bullish piercing. So we're at support. This looks fantastic to work its way higher. We are basically creating a trend line. Looks something on the lines of that. And hopefully we can break that trend line. And we do have support right underneath us. So we're squeezing up. Hopefully doing a little bit of poppy to the upside. Sprout Physical Uranium Trust. Oh, we had a down day after some massive up move. Again, not strong selling pressure. Everything looking okay. Just wait for the momentum in the buyers to keep coming through. Everything still looks good. URA getting a little bit more selling pressure today. It's not necessarily a reversal candlestick, but a little bit of selling pressure today. Uranium also getting a little bit of selling pressure. Not really a huge candlestick there, not a reversal candlestick, but maybe we do a little bit of a pullback in the short term. Again, we're on top of the pattern. We're sitting on top of everything here, guys. This is all bullish to go higher eventually. URNJ also down just a little bit. Well, for URNJ, it's down a little bit. Down 2.5%. Again, it's not a reversal candlestick or anything, so let's wait and see. Maybe the buyers decide to come in tomorrow, and we start ripping again. Looking across, we do have support in the $17.80, $18 range, somewhere in that range. So we could get back to that level. It's possible. We might rest a little bit, do a little bit of resty before we pop again. But what I do like seeing is the big green candlesticks and then the small selling pressure. that is the ingredients for a move to the upside. Tan getting sold off. Bearish engulfing does not look good here, guys. Looks like we could continue to fall back to the downside. TAN, or the solar ETF. I'm not a huge fan of solar companies just because I don't think they make that much money. So that's my, I'll say, hesitancy with the group. But it still looks all right. This is still symmetrical. It could go all the way back down to 48, $50 if it wants to before heading higher. COPX, copper heading down a little bit, 2.4%. Looks like we could head a little bit lower, or bounce around kind of where we're at. And I think this is in a generally good location to be looking, though. A lot of the diversified miners paying big dividends, and I think they're in pretty good locations. Lithium down a little bit today. Looks like we've got a little bit of a battle here. Buyers, sellers ripping back and forth. We're still within the pattern, and we're just waiting for buyers to step in. Same with REMX. Sellers still there. A little bit of selling pressure. We got to wait for the buyers to come in. We're getting low in a very good location where we're going to find additional support for the lower trend line. So we're getting close to that. A little bit further to the downside, and we'll hit that support. S&P 500 doing a little bit of a pukey. Oh, man. Bearish engulfing going lower, buddy. Yeah, that doesn't look good at all. So it started here, bearish engulfing, big selling pressure candlesticks, small green candlesticks. We're fighting to come back up, and this is a big selling pressure candlestick. We are going to diarrhea, explosive diarrhea to the downside is what my guess is. The NASDAQ has it as well. This definitely looks like it's an explosive situation. I would not be getting behind U.S. Composite Index or the S&P 500. Nobody likes getting diarrhea in the face, especially explosively. EEM, I mean, massive move in dollar, massive move in yields. EEM's not going to like it, but it's hanging out. It's waiting for the market conditions to change, waiting for that weak dollar where it can rip to the upside. XHB also not liking the increase in yields. I wouldn't like the increase in mortgage rates either if I was trying to buy a house. I'll be honest. This could head lower with the overall markets if yields continue higher. This is going to put extreme pressure on home builders and the real estate market. Less and less home sales, more strain for people to buy in terms of affordability. MOO continuing to head a little bit lower with the overall markets. This does look like this could continue lower. I see no reversal candlesticks, no large green army showing up yet. And I'm going to be remaining downward move till that occurs. Copper, we're battling at this support resistance region. That's where we're at. We're right on support, right at that resistance support level. And we're going back and forth, trading between the buyers and sellers. I do think over time, this is going to work its way higher. We've got low inventories, and everything we want to do in the world seems to require more copper, and we are copper constrained on the supply side. Iron ore still hanging in there, down 0.23%. We are breaking to this upside. I think that iron ore is going to move on up, and I think it looks good. Good. Give it some time; it'll work its way higher, and I think that the dry bulk shipping companies are at a pretty good spot to be looking. This is a falling wedge. It's going to break to the upside most likely. Majority of the time, it breaks to the upside. And coal is kind of basing out as well, so I think dry bulk is going to look pretty good at some point here. Nickel working its way sideways. Again, I'm giving this time. We still have a lot of big red candlesticks in here, not much buying pressure. I still think that we have the ability to move lower, especially with the market heading lower. Aluminum down a little bit. I don't think the markets like seeing the S&P 500 and NASDAQ going lower. They don't like increasing yields. They don't like a stronger dollar. These are priced in dollars. So we got a little bit larger selling pressure today. In aluminum, in Baltic Dry Index as well. And again, I think I'm still bullish on Baltic Dry. If we get yanked down, it's just going to be a slingshot move to the upside if we get yanked to the downside here. Newcastle coal, it's basing out. I like it where it's at. Good long-term pick for potential accumulation. It's probably going to go sideways for longer. Don't get me wrong. We're probably going to go sideways this fall, and then the winter, early fall, winter, yeah, late fall, early winter is where I think we might head higher. Bitcoin down 1.5%. Again, overall markets, stronger yield, stronger dollar. I wouldn't expect these to be very strong at this time. It looks like it's just trying to hang on to its life, going sideways here. If yields were to go back, if they do any sort of QE, any sort of yield manipulation, whatever it is, I think potential Bitcoin and Ethereum could go higher. Gold and silver are going to rocket. They're just waiting. They're waiting for that to occur. And right now, everything's being held down by yields. They've got it pinned down to the ground. They've got housing market pinned, gold and silver pinned. Some of these commodities pinning them down. They're trying to pin them down. Can they do it forever? I don't think so. I don't think so. So we're just waiting. We're chilling, waiting for the right conditions to come so we can go and move up higher again. So be patient, guys. It'll come. Uranium still looks undeniably good. Energy still looks undeniably good. And a lot of these other commodities look pretty good. So sometimes you just got to be patient and wait for the ball to come down the middle of the plate and take a swing at it. All right, guys, that's all I've got. Thumb up for the content, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys later. This is Finding Value.